Huh?
Welcome to Subreddit Surfing with Vinnie and Cardiff. Surfing subreddits and interviewing creeps and various other people on the internet for your enjoyment. Gagia.
Aloha, creepos. Welcome to another edition of Subreddit Surfing. I am your host, Vinny, and joining me, as always, it's my best spud, Cardiff Electric. Hey, Cardiff.
Oh, hey, Vinny, how you doing? Surf's up.
I'm glad to be here tonight. This is going to be a fun episode. People seem to be banging down the door to come talk to us about this topic.
Yes. Still only one, though.
Oh, the rest will be coming. You said you booked them, right?
Yes. But I'm feeling a little needy right now. I was hoping
understand.
they would all be lined up, ready to go.
You know, to cheer you up,
What?
a roll call.
Before we get to roll call, I do have to address something. I got a phone call today
Who's
from
it
from the president of YouTube. Mm-hmm. And I
Really?
want to warn. Yeah, really. Called me up on my at home even. And I don't want to worry people, but I think YouTube is collecting way more stats than we're aware of when you sign up for the app, because they told us without a doubt our audience has the largest penises in the world.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I assume because this show is just all big dick energy, Carter. That's all we are here.
Mm-hmm. So let's do some roll call with these big
giant, these giant penis viewers,
the
and
hogs of all hogs.
Yeah, even the ladies.
Yes, some of the biggest were on ladies. Yes, that's true. Arcona is here. Of course, On That Boy is here. That's a new one. Oh, Umlaut. Hello, Umlaut. Tim Downs. Captain Kickass. John Lewis is here. Void Wraith is here. Daytwa is here. Dylan from somewhere is here. Welcome to the stream. Blicky Jedi is here. Gut is here. JJ Johnny A is here. Can you believe JJ Johnny A is here? Like, we got a celebrity.
Double J
in the chat. Wow. Leland Mandingo is here. Obnoxious John. Wow.
Aloha, Obnoxious John.
Corrosive Dew. One of my favorite chatters, Corrosive Dew. John's Whippet Can is here. Stoneman 623. Now, last week we had Stoneman 622. I wonder if they're related. You think they're related?
Could be family. Could have recommended the show to his brother.
Well, thank you for sharing, Stoneman 623. Noob 2.
Giant hogs in that family. Giant
for
hogs.
Sure. The biggest. I feel sorry for all the women married to everybody in that family.
Oh my God. Bow-legged, a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Mikey Alien Head Shitted is here. Wow. Bob Roland is here. Principled Uncertainty. He's staying up late just to watch us. Christina Marie is here. Hello. Pork Boy 23 is here. The Bladit cast is here. He wants to go surfing. I don't know who that is.
The Bladcast is more than welcome to come join us tonight if you'd like to.
Oh, you know this guy?
On. Yeah, I know the Bladcast. You did the show.
Oh,
I remember that. It was a thrilling episode.
Oh, okay, sure. If he's a friend of yours, then I'll tolerate him. Cyborganic is here. Keanu Creams is here. Kinky Local finally made it late, but still here. And that's everybody.
Well, welcome, everyone. Cardiff, I believe it's time now, even though we did spoil the lead a little bit today in the intro.
We did.
We are going to talk about one of the most famous creatures on the planet that no one has ever seen, supposedly. A Bigfoot. It's Reddit r/Bigfoot tonight.
Oh. I misunderstood the meeting we had.
Oh, did you?
I thought we were doing Clubfoot.
That was my show I did earlier today.
I have so many pictures of Carl.
That was the creep. Oh no.
Oh no. Well, last minute welcome to Jen and Grassley. Before I forget.
Hey Jen, down in Dallas. Hey y'all.
And thank you for the first super chat of the day, Blinky Jedi. Love you, Cardiff. I hate Mike Moores. Is he related to Mike Coors? Thank you.
All right.
But yes, we're doing Bigfoot, not Clubfoot.
This is a topic that I feel has interested everyone enough to at least sit down and watch one of those dumb specials. Yeah.
Yes. Those are frustrating though.
Has there ever been a show or a subject matter that has gotten more airtime where nothing has been accomplished with?
Storage Wars, maybe, because I get the same feeling from Storage Wars that I do from a lot of these Bigfoot shows. It's like
Wrong. Storage Wars, they find things.
no, but they always do that suspenseful. We're about to open the storage locker. Stay tuned to find out what. Like, there's always that. You think if they found Bigfoot, they might, wouldn't. I'm sure this is an old bit from like Opie and Anthony or something, but it might have been on the news before it was on this Discovery Channel show, don't you think?
Yeah, that is a very good point. Like the second someone actually finds a Bigfoot or someone captures a Sasquatch or the like, a skunk ape, a Yeti, an abominable snowman, whatever, if you will, the second one's captured, it is the biggest news on the planet.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to keep a lid on it
until the special comes out on Discovery Plus.
Yes, like 90 Day Fiance. Did they get married? We don't know. Yeah, no one gives a shit. But a Bigfoot, I think, would be a big news.
That would be an amazing show on TLC.
90 Day Bigfoot?
90 Day Bigfoot. I met a Sasquatch, and I have 90 days to decide if I want to live in the forest with him forever. It'd be great. I'd watch the shit out of that. Wow. Thank you for the super chats, everybody. They're coming in. We appreciate it. Blinky Jedi. Oh, Captain Kickass says $4.99. Cardiff rules.
And this one's for you, Leland Mandingo.
Can I get the greatest thing ever? That genuine Cardiff smile. Give it to him. Show him those pearly whites.
That's for you, Leland Mandingo.
Now, I personally am terrified of the woods, but I'm scared of bears.
Okay, that's a healthy fear.
I don't go to the woods, so I don't even know what it would be like to see one of these things. I can't even comprehend being anywhere near something like this. So tonight, I hope that we could talk to some people who've taken some time to do some real research and go out into the woods and have looked for them.
Yes. So far, we have one.
Okay, great.
Which is
now, Cardiff, our first guest today, I found him on the cryptids page, Reddit/cryptids. And he's joining us tonight to talk about Bigfoot because he's a big Bigfoot enthusiast, but also claims to be a bit of a skeptic. So this should be interesting. We're going to talk to Roger Patterson. Good evening, Roger. Thanks for joining us.
Hello. Hey, guys. How are you?
Good, Roger. How are you?
Great.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Now, the name Roger Patterson that you picked, is there a particular reason why you picked that name?
It is. Roger Patterson is one of the gentlemen that was involved with the very famous, Bigfoot film from the 60s. It was
this footage right here?
Yes, Bob Gimlin, Roger Patterson. Very debated and talked about. The people claim that it next to like the Zapruder film, the JFK film, it's like the most like analyzed piece of film ever. So yeah, I picked that. I should say I went anonymous today because although something I've learned, although I don't think Bigfoot's real.
Okay.
Even bringing it up is a little stigmatizing. Like even if your friends like some of my friends will be like, yeah, so this Bigfoot stuff, like very concerned about whether or not I am like running through the woods now.
Okay, well, Roger, how into Bigfoot are you? How would someone come to the conclusion to have a conversation with you about Bigfoot?
During the pandemic, I like went all in. Like, I'll watch everything, listen to any episode. I've listened to hundreds of episodes at this point. I'm like deep in it.
Episodes of what?
Of podcasts. My God, hundreds upon hundreds.
Do you live in a part of the country where Bigfoot may show up?
Yes.
Okay.
No, not where I am. No, I'm city living. Nothing to worry about here. But yeah, I'm deep in it, but mostly because like I'm like I grew up through the 80s, so you had your Unsolved Mysteries, your Time Life books, etc. And I like have always just been into that weird stuff, paranormal stuff. But as I got older, it sort of disappeared. Come 2020, had all the time in the world. Let's watch anything I can find on like Prime Video, YouTube, you name it.
Okay. Now, when you sit there and you watch these videos and you watch all of these podcasts, you've come to the conclusion that Bigfoot does not exist.
No, there's no evidence of that.
Okay.
But
So in all the footage you've watched and all the research you've, again, only the last couple of years, nothing has persuaded you to think that this is it's
so
actually out there.
I'm gonna go right off the bat. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a crash course. Yeah, and we'll talk about that. The interdimensional time traveler.
I love it. I love a crash course,
Yeah,
Roger
let's
Patterson.
go. That's what I'm gonna do for y'all right now.
Now
Okay.
listen. Now listen. I've been accused of letting people ramble on this show.
I'm gonna try my best not to.
So if you start rambling,
usually I'm the one that rambles, so it's fine.
Yeah.
If you start rambling, Roger, I'm gonna stop you and we're
Feel
gonna
free.
reset. All right.
All right. So basically like Bigfoot, the community, the subreddit, it kind of falls into like two camps. One camp is basically called like flesh and blood. They believe like it's an ape or like what they call like a relic hominid. And that's like a majority of it. There's like one or two scientists that are involved in that research. But the other side is what people refer to as the woo. And that's when you get into like your interdimensional time traveling Bigfoot. You're like, it has the ability to use telepathy. They call it mind speak in the Bigfoot world. And there's a lot of weirdness there. I mean, some of it like ends up getting involved with like UFO stuff. It's real weird. It's like that hole is deep.
Okay. So we have the people who are thinking we have a primate that is unidentified versus the people who think that this could possibly be something bigger than that.
Oh yeah. And both camps generally look at the other one and think they're crazy. That's pretty wild.
Interesting. What do these people think of skeptics?
Hate them. Now I should say like on the Bigfoot subreddit, you can use Flare where you like can sort of list yourself as a skeptic, but like for the people who actually like, and we could get more into this, people who generally believe they saw something, they feel very invalidated by a skeptic even just like opening his mouth. Because like maybe they think they've seen something, they tell some people and everyone makes fun of them. And so for the rest of their life, they don't like want to hear it ever again.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense to me because no one wants to be thought to be crazy.
I mean, it's kind of like UFO people, very similar from what I've seen.
So that's an interesting way to look at it. But these people who do come out and claim that they've seen it, and talk about it freely and openly, they probably take the same kind of shit, right? We're just talking different personality types.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's, for me, I've never watched the TV shows, except for maybe what was Survivor Man. He did like a whole season, like years and years ago, and it, in essence, like shut down the show. The network was like, "Oh, we're not doing this. We're over here. We're done." But a lot of these people, like, yeah, they take it super seriously, and they really believe they saw something. What that was for me, I don't know. Shared delusion, some sort of like, I don't know, weird Carl Jung archetype come to life. Who knows? But
sure,
as far as I'm concerned, there's really no evidence. There's like a circumstantial evidence and way more like once again sightings. There's a ton of sightings.
But what the one thing that's kind of interesting with Bigfoot for me is it's not that far out there of a theory that there's some giant gorilla beast. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of land out there. There's a lot of forest out there. We haven't covered it all, and yeah, there might be something out there that doesn't necessarily want to be found or lives in terrain that we don't really travel very often. It's not that, I think, far-fetched. I think it's more reasonable to believe in Bigfoot than UFOs possibly.
Well, I don't know about that. I think UFOs, there's a bigger possibility UFOs can exist. And then there's a smaller area that we're talking about for a Sasquatch. But I'll tell you what, Sasquatch makes way more sense to me than a Loch Ness monster.
Sure. And I think with Bigfoot and that once again that the like flesh and blood camp, they're like, well, it's totally possible. Like much of the fossil record has not been, documented. We don't know like how long what kind of primates have been around for the last 100 million years. Like,
Sure.
yeah. So,
We
but with that,
discover species all the time.
yeah, yeah. So like those flesh and blood people are like, yeah, it sounds reasonable, right? And then the people on the other side were like, yeah, but they use the same arguments most skeptics use. They're like, well, why haven't we found a body? Why don't we find bones? And the like people on the other side are like, it has to be something like more. It has to be like something weirder, something that we don't understand.
Okay. Well, we can't say people haven't looked for it.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
And we can't say that anybody's found anything definitive.
Anything. No. Some footprints.
Well, and what do prints prove?
That they're just footprints. We don't know what's attached to said foot.
Okay.
Now I should say that there are definitely some scientists out there who like I should say there really is one scientist out there who talks about Bigfoot, etc. And I went to a Bigfoot convention to go see him speak. His name is Jeff Meldrum, and he is an anthropologist at Idaho State University. And he is like the one scientist who like will lend cred to the Bigfoot world.
Okay.
Because
Before we get into that, can I ask you a question?
I
Yeah.
have some Bigfoot convention questions. Yes.
Oh,
yeah, let's hear
you
it.
cannot.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna get back to this doctor, but you're not going to glaze over the fact that you went to a Bigfoot convention. I've been to pro wrestling conventions, and I feel like they've got to be the same.
Yeah.
Whose autographs did you get at the Bigfoot convention? Did you meet Bigfoot? Did you get a photo op?
They do have like a big cutout for you to stand with there.
Nice.
I mean, the Bigfoot convention is as wild as you can imagine it would be. Lots of American flagged Bigfoot stuff to buy, lots of books, lots of DVDs, lots of podcasts there, recording and filming, and lots of like talks by like Bigfoot researchers, quote unquote.
Are you a married man, Roger?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay. You
want to know? Yeah, she did come with me, but honestly, she just sat in the hotel and got high the whole time. So
good for her.
Yeah, I know, right?
So
is there a lot of hooking up happening at a Bigfoot convention? This I need to know.
No, not the one that I went to. No, I have to say no. I have been to Comic-Con before, so I can say that yeah. Other conventions, yeah, but not this one. No.
Okay, this is about the business.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they're serious.
Now, here's what I want to know, and maybe you could answer this, Roger. When they have these conventions, they always tend to book some type of entertainment for them.
Oh, yeah.
I know. What kind of entertainment did they book for the Bigfoot enthusiasts?
The sax squatch, which is like this saxophone playing person in a Bigfoot costume.
Bigfoot jazz. Okay, good.
Yeah, just cranking it out.
Did you say sax squatch?
Yeah, sax squatch. I'm trying to remember. Not much else, honestly. There were just so many speakers that I don't think like. I should say I didn't say the whole time, but I bet you it's
that. I bet you it's that dude from Lost Boys.
Oh,
in a Bigfoot costume.
He's just making that money. Never ends.
Just shaking. Oh man. Okay, so sax squatch. Who else did they have?
I don't really think they had much else, to be completely honest. Not that I remember, but it was like mostly just speakers. Nothing too wild.
Okay. Now they had the one speaker that you found interesting was a doctor. What was his name again?
Jeff Meldrum.
Okay. Tell me about Dr. Jeff Meldrum. What are his credentials that you find him to be so credible?
I mean, he's credible in the fact that he has a PhD in anatomy and anthropology, and he specifically studies primates like locomotion. So that's why he is like really convinced by like footprints.
Oh.
And like, so he will like look at a footprint and talk about it and tell you why. He's like, oh, I don't think this can be faked. Like he's
Interesting.
also not going to be like Bigfoot is 100% real, but he definitely has feelings and opinions on why he thinks it
Sure.
probably exists.
Oh
Yeah, there we
Christ.
go. Look at him.
We could book him right now, Vinny. We could have him on next week's show just to play some sweet saxophone.
We can
Saxophone.
we can request a video, can we?
Yes, we can.
Interesting.
You might as well.
So this doctor, he's looking at the prints and he's going, it looks like this one's learning a brand new dance now. Look at the
Yeah.
locomotion.
He
And
basically that's
and he
what
looks
it
at the
says.
way the depth of the print and like the way that the foot, like the bones and stuff would be taking a step. Because it does seem to me like whenever you see a Bigfoot track, they all look kind of the same. They're all like this big flat-footed thing, which I'm sure is like the ones that are coveted for people to collect and keep the
Right. So
flashes of,
you
because
see
they look
that
the most impressive.
while we're looking at this, you see that thing in the middle? Here's some other Bigfoot jargon to know.
Yeah.
People say this all the time. In the middle, that thing is called the mid-tarsal break. Other primates have it. Humans don't have it, but it's like
this area here.
Yeah, the foot like supposedly folds like towards us in that, and so there's like some sort of grippage, and that's what they claim in the Patterson-Gimlin that you can see the mid-tarsal break on Patty. They call her.
Why do they think that thing's a girl?
Because it has breasts. Have you watched the film? Let's watch it
yeah,
again.
it does. Look at that.
Yeah,
look at that.
So, Vinny,
I got to be honest with you. I've never really been checking out Sasquatch before, but hold on a second, guys. Look at that. Let's go in big here. I got to see Sasquatch's titties on the internet.
That's next week's show, Vinny.
Why won't you go in?
Oh, yeah.
Turn around, girl. Yeah. Turn around, girl.
There it is.
Shake it, Patty.
Yeah, old Patty.
Patty got some booty, too.
Yeah. If there's anyone who wants to, like...
She's a thought over there.
She is. It wants to listen to a deep dive. Not that I would plug another podcast, but...
No, please.
Astonishing Legends has a 6-part deep dive into the Patterson-Gimlin, and they go over everything, all like the weird accusations of hoaxing, etc. It's pretty interesting.
Well, I'm going to quiz you on your Bigfoot podcast knowledge here. Didn't they come out and say that was a dude in a suit?
There have been like several people who have claimed it was them. There's one in particular, and I guess he's like always been like, well, it was me in the suit, but I have one glass eye, and I had like a football helmet on underneath there, and I was like on stilts, and I had like arm lengtheners on there. So I'm not saying that it couldn't be a hoax, but I don't think it's that dude who claims to say he was in the suit. And then people have always been like, oh, well, why don't you take us to the spot? And he's not been able to like accurately bring them where
Now,
where it is.
it's Gimlin and Patterson, right? That's the name of these guys? Okay.
Yeah.
Could you tell me, what do you know about those two gentlemen? Tell me something about them.
So,
like, how would they even...
Yeah, let's
how would these guys
it.
know if they were going to make a suit to put arm lengtheners in it and shit like that?
So the story is
so sorry, when was this video supposedly taken?
In the 60s, like 64 maybe? I can't remember.
Yeah, mid-60s.
So there's two people. Roger Patterson has passed away. Bob Gimlin is still alive, and he still lives in Washington, Yakima, Washington. But Roger Patterson was what some people would call sort of like a huckster. He was always trying to make money, and he was like, I'm going to film a Bigfoot. Like, he was like convinced he was going to do it, and he kept on having to borrow money so he could rent a camera. Like, but he was like, I need to do this. And then Bob Gimlin was sort of, if I remember correctly, like, he was like a tracker and he had experience. So Roger Patterson basically hired Bob Gimlin to help him film this thing out in, Northern California, Bluff Creek. And yes. And I mean, the story is it could be an HBO series. It's so in depth and wild. So yeah.
The only
And
thing that I've heard, and tell me if I'm wrong here,
Mhm.
is that maybe Patterson brought Gimli, what's his name again?
Gimlin?
Gimlin?
Gimlin out there and had this guy in a suit ready for this other guy to see, so he could be a witness for him. Is that
Sure, yeah, that's like a lot of what people say. Like a lot of people honestly don't think Gimlin was in on it. I think that's sort of like the consensus that if it was a hoax, wasn't in on it. So yeah, I guess that's possible. But Gimlin pretty much swears straight up that like the thing that he saw was whatever 8 feet tall and was not a human in a suit.
well, principled uncertainty makes a good point here. In the 60s, the odds of someone with a camera catching one is just too high. I know what you mean there. There weren't a lot of people out in the woods with cameras.
Yes,
So
and
your odds are really high that you would ever get a shot of anything.
yeah, and there's a lot of debate on
Let alone a set of Bigfoot knockers.
right. There's a lot of debate on how they even got it developed because they got it developed like really quickly to show it to like scientists. They had like a showing, and people were like, "How do they get it done so quickly back then? This like had to have been done already."
Money
So
talks.
yeah, it's a whole thing.
So of all the, I've done a little bit of reading, kind of preparing for this show, and a lot of posts have posted to this article from 1958 being the, first major reference of
Yeah, yeah,
Bigfoot.
yeah.
And
It is. Yeah, the Jerry Crew like what is it called? The like workers incident.
yeah,
Um,
so it would make sense that, maybe this is getting out. This is at the time going a little viral, and this Patterson guy sees an opportunity to
yeah,
make a bit of money.
and that's what he was. And from what I remember, he basically was like, we're gonna make a documentary, like what are those called? Like the weird like docu movies that they were going to do, like and I guess he was like, we're gonna film something either way, and I guess that's what alarmed some people that
Right.
he was gonna get it done either way, so maybe he hoaxed it. Um,
No
I
matter
mean, what are
what.
the odds? Like, if you're a guy who's running around telling everybody, "Listen, I'm going to get this footage. I'm going to get this footage,"
and
and
you
then you
happen
show up,
upon
yeah.
the
I mean,
only
that
and
does make you a little more suspicious.
yeah, of course. And I mean, maybe that was his lot in life. That after scheming and being like I think he like sold carnival rides at one point. That he would film something and no one's gonna believe him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he ever involved in professional wrestling?
No, but I bet had he been doing it like 10 years later, probably. Yeah. Some
I'll
of those
tell you,
local cards. Yeah.
is there a chance that this is a carny in that suit?
You never know. You never know.
The hairy man or something. I don't know. I just, when you look at this video, I've seen it a million times over the years, man. I've seen this thing a million times. I don't know what to make of it. I really don't. Like,
I,
what?
I really suggest listening to that deep dive if you can stomach 6 episodes of it, because even myself, after like 3 or 4, I have to take a break. But it's super interesting, and I don't think that they're too heavily weighed on either side,
Okay.
as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, there's a lot of info to digest.
So, Roger, in your assessment as to this point, again, you're not convinced that Bigfoot is real. What has there been any evidence or things that you've come across that have made you go, and maybe keep
Sure,
that door open?
sure. Yeah, because I'm not like a denialist. I like if I will say I heard one episode of a podcast, one or two, where I was like, if like I could sit with everyone involved in said episode, I would like to ask some questions. But like, could it be like, these a lot of these podcasts are just people retelling their own encounters, right? So,
Sure.
could they all be hoaxes? Possibly. I would say unlikely. All hoaxes. Could it be some mental illness? Definitely. Some misidentification. Yeah, probably some of that.
I would
Um,
say it's probably I don't like to believe that there's a ton of people just lying to get attention that they saw a Bigfoot.
Yeah, I think
But-
there's too many reports for all of that.
Yeah,
I think we can all agree that there's some for sure
Yeah,
that
there's some, and
yeah,
I've
sure.
heard some episodes of podcasts where the people were clearly having some sort of like mental break or delusions, like clear as day, and they're
Okay.
it's been it manifests as seeing a hairy Bigfoot in the woods.
So here's where I'm at on this. I think if I lean towards belief, I am more of the flesh and blood camp than I am the time traveling, interdimensional hopping, spell casting Bigfoot myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
so you
I
think
guess-
it came from another dimension, another planet to wander around in the woods and shit in the woods?
Like, wouldn't you think if you're an dimensional time traveler, you go to like Manhattan for a while or something?
Maybe. But
Good.
I think there's something beautiful in the Pacific Northwest.
Sure. You still there, Roger? Did we lose you?
oh yeah, no, I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
just listening to your sweet words.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, Roger.
I knew Oh, Roger, I'm blushing.
What are you doing next? What are you doing next Monday night, Roger?
Yeah, let's do it again.
Let's talk about-
I'll talk any paranormal stuff. You sign me up. I'll show up and spiel off all my knowledge.
Listen, Roger, we've had some difficulty and a lot of subreddits getting guests. If you can be that guy for no matter, if you can just be our ringer guest.
Ghosts, sign me up. UFOs, sign me up. Weird, they call it high strangeness. Sign me up for that too.
Where
All
can
right.
I mail you the scripts that I want you to say?
Yeah.
Oh,
what was I going to
Cardiff.
say? So here's what I'll say. The most popular Sasquatch podcast that exists is a podcast called Sasquatch Chronicles. I mean, it has to have, I don't know how many subscribers, but if you look up some of the view counts, etc., I'm sure you guys can find it. There's a ton. There are like 900 episodes.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Did they ever find it? 900 episodes? Did they find the fucker?
Well, and all it is people like talking about like things that they've seen, right? There are not too many like experts on there. He kind of shies away from that. He looks for like normal people who claim to have seen it. So I've listened to a lot of them, and most of them I'm like, but I did hear one that made me raise my eyebrow.
Lay it on me.
Okay, when you guys get a chance, it's Sasquatch Chronicles episode 511. And it is I think like a former police officer who went fishing with his family, with like his dad, his uncle, and his brother, and they heard and saw something. Very interesting. And then he has another encounter, like I don't know, maybe like years later, as as like some sort of police officer. Very interesting. Like, do I think it's proof? Absolutely not. Do I find it interesting? Yeah, totally.
Well, I would agree that if somebody is a trained police officer, I would tend to listen to an account that they gave because, cops are trained to be there present in the moment and analyze situations quicker than the normal person is. You know what I mean?
And take good details.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if a normal person sees a big rock or a tree that broke in the woods that kind of looks like a head and shoulders from a distance, they might go, it's Bigfoot and run. A cop's going to sit there and look at it for a second and go, it's a tree. You know what I mean? They're going to not just immediately panic and go Bigfoot.
If that's how you feel, then you should listen to the episode. I suggest any of your listeners to check it out. You can have one glimpse into what you guys don't have to listen to all 900 episodes. I did that for you.
Thank you.
Go listen to that one.
Okay. Thank you very much for getting through it. That's actually quite the service you've done for everybody,
Yeah,
Roger Patterson.
did it. Took the bullet. Spent 3 years doing it. Here I am.
Jesus.
You're welcome, everybody.
You should
All
meet
right.
Carl. You guys have a lot in common.
Oh my God. I might actually have to send him over there to Carl's show one of these days. Here's some questions from listeners for you, Roger. If
Yeah,
this
let's
might
hear
help.
it.
Does Sasquatch really like beef jerky?
Probably.
All
Who
right.
doesn't?
Right.
Yeah. Jack Links only, right?
Did Mr. Squatch really get his doctorate? Does he talk it out of his area?
Oh, Jeff Meldrum. Yes, you can actually look him up. Definitely did that.
Okay.
Idaho State University. Jeffrey
Okay.
Meldrum.
So he
What-
did get it. Okay.
What is the general opinion of the what do Bigfooters call themselves? Do they have a
I don't know that they have a name, but there is a lot of terminology. My God, so much terminology. It's ridiculous.
Let's play some inside baseball. Lay some of them on us.
Oh
Give
yeah,
us an education.
yeah. So let's hold on. I actually have a list somewhere because I was like, this is too crazy. I need to like figure this out. Hold on.
what's the general consensus on Harry and the Hendersons, both film and
Man,
television?
I mean, I think that okay, and you know, Bigfoot subreddit might be upset with me about this, but I honestly think that some people watched Harry and the Hendersons when they were younger, had some sort of traumatic event, and they were like, "Boop, I'm gonna just go ahead and use that. My brain's gonna use that reference to, you know, whatever populate this thing that I think I'm seeing."
Okay.
That's my that's my take on it.
Are you trying to say that like Harry and the Hendersons, that Bigfoot, that picture of Bigfoot has ingrained itself into the consciousness of society, and
Yeah.
people
Maybe
just immediately relate to that?
For some people, I'm sure, yeah. How could it not? It was like huge, right? Imagine seeing it as a little kid. Imagine it scaring you and having it like, you know, imprinted into your brain, and then like, you know, you
The
have some sort of collective unconsciousness.
Yeah.
Maybe
the
that's
collective
maybe that's crazy. Who knows?
Yeah. All right. So did you find your list?
I did. So I think I mentioned this earlier. Mind speak is one of like the like real taboo wild topics, which is where people claim that like Bigfoot like speak to them like through telepathy.
Okay.
And
Now these people, what do they say Bigfoot tells them?
there have been things where like Bigfoot's just like go away. You're not supposed to be here. And when they describe it, they actually describe it as like not that they're hearing English, but that they just like in their brain they understand what they're being told. Because of course people ask, like, did it speak? How does it know English? How does it know how to speak with you? But much like some of those UFO encounters where people say that the aliens speak to them with telepathy, they say Bigfoot does the same thing.
So he didn't like hold up a sign.
Yeah,
Says no trespassing.
What's the guy from Survivor Man? Les Stroud. He claims that he had a mind speak episode, and that he was like out there alone, and that like basically someone said to him, he was like, if you want to see us, just come back tonight. That's what he claims.
And did he go back?
No, he said he was like, nope. He said he was done, and he left. And he was like, I should talk to a psychiatrist. His words, not mine.
Roger, a semi question here, not semi, from Gina. What's the consensus on Bigfoot's penis?
Ooh, it's got to be big, right? I don't know that it talks about that much, but there are occasionally some witnesses who are like, yeah, I know it was a man, and they were like, oh, how so? And he's like, oh, I saw it. He was like, I know.
You know, that's like a whole corner of the convention.
Yes. Also, there have been a few moments where people have claimed that the Bigfoot, like, in like a fit of anger, like urinated while it was like yelling at them or screaming at them.
Vinny did that to me once.
You weren't supposed to be in my studio.
Sorry.
Think you can change it here? So this mind speak is interesting to me. Now,
yeah.
Once you give a creature like this a power like that, like some type of ability that's, I mean, beyond what normal humans have, Does this become
Right.
is this still a flesh and
So-
blood animal? Like, what
Yeah,
do we
so-
when you
so-
add that? Can it
Right.
still just be a primate?
So some flesh and blood people believe so. So they're like, oh, what this is? They were like, if you try to show I don't know, a small animal on your cell phone, how is it going to fucking understand that? Like, that's their argument, in that that some Bigfoot use what some tigers and lions and big cats use. It's called infrasound, where they make this like low sound that like instills fear or confuses prey. Some people think that that's something else that Bigfoot uses, and that some people will put that in the like woo crazy category, and some people are like, oh no, that's definitely flesh and blood. Like everything is divided. Everything.
Wow.
It's like American politics.
Okay, so the general consensus is when people hear this thing is go away, and
Yeah.
it's intimidating. So I guess that does kind of align with some things in nature, like you said, these big cats and this
Yeah.
defense mechanism or whatever it is. Is it a hunting tool or a defense mechanism, you think?
Yeah, I don't think that anyone really knows. I think people would make an argument for either.
Okay.
But don't you think just this being enough would be intimidating, scary enough that would almost seeing something, Vinny, if you're out in the woods and you see something that you've never seen before, something that you don't know how to process, something that's
The
8
woods.
feet tall. Well, yes, a tree. But don't you think like deep down something in you is gonna trigger and just say get the fuck out of here? And that I think a lot of people could interpret.
Okay.
That
I would be the guy who fucking turns around and books it.
yes.
I would just book it.
And let's be honest, most people that are probably out in the woods and may come across something are probably on something too. Because nothing makes the woods more fun.
Yeah, the woods are boring. But can I say this though? If I'm out in the woods and I hear a thing yelling and screaming and it's fucking throwing out a piss stream at me when I'm just walking down a trail, I'm running the other way. If I hear something yelling, screaming, and I hear the mind, what's the word for it?
Mind
Telling
speak?
me, if I hear mind speak coming at me saying, hey, come back around 10, we're going to have a real party, I might consider it.
Roger, anyone in the community talk about like noises that the Bigfoot makes? Like
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. There's
Tell us
like,
about that.
so there's two really big pieces of like audio evidence that people point to. One of them is called the Ohio Howls, very easy to find on YouTube. I don't really remember when it was recorded, maybe in the 90s. I don't remember, but it's this howling, and it, to me, I'm not like a hunter. I don't know that I could identify it if someone played it for me. But other people are like, that's not a coyote, that's not a wolf, like that's got to be a Bigfoot. And then there is something called the Sierra Sounds. The Sierra Sounds were recorded in the mid 70s by some gentleman also in a very remote camp. They claim a remote camp in Northern California, and it's basically like what they claim is like audio of like Bigfoot like speaking and vocalizing. And some people call it samurai sounds because some of it like sounds like it could be like a Kurosawa film.
Okay.
But that is like those two like audio, and like the Sierra Sounds definitely sound like creepy, like 100%. Like,
did you find those, Cardiff?
I found a video. Sorry, was that audio coming through?
No, I didn't hear it at all. You got to pull it up into the thing.
Okay, no, I'll let me get to it's a long video. Let me get to you guys.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll find something, then I'll bring it up. You keep going.
I'm really interested to hear this. Good job, Cardiff.
Yeah. So the Sierra Sounds is like, once again, it's like this. It always gets brought up, and then there's like the Ron Moorhead. He's the gentleman who recorded it. He claimed to be there in the 70s and said that basically their camp was surrounded by these like creatures, but they tried to get photos, they couldn't, but they got audio. And in the audio, you can hear the gentleman in the camp like maybe basically mimicking them, and back and forth. You'll hear it. It's it's something.
This is the Sierra Sound.
that's the researchers making the noise, and then you're hearing the response.
It sounds like Mr. Bill from Saturday Night Live there for a second.
Hi, everybody.
Whoa, no! Is that Otto and George in the woods?
Yes, he's doing one of his last performances in the Oregon woods.
All right, mate.
I mean, honestly, you're in the middle of the woods in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I mean, and he
That's
claims
scary as shit.
He claims it was like as remote as it gets. He was like, you had to like ride like a horse, like 6 hours to get to the camp. It was as remote as it gets. So he claims.
Oh my God. I'll tell you what, this is the line of the night right here. It's Opie. Cheers.
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 Doing a beer show.
It's the newest episode of the beer show in the woods. Okay. So that's the Sierra noises. Can you find the Ohio noises, Cardiff? Can we hear if that's a little different?
Yeah,
I didn't realize I worked for you, Vinny, but sure, I will look.
I'm talking to our guest.
The Ohio one is like a howl, like a straight up howl. And once again, I'm not an outdoorsman. I don't really know what they're supposed to.
Is that that it did sound very primate-ish there for a second?
Yeah, I mean,
it sounded like Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, there's some other ones on there too that are like, but like how do we know it's not just a man doing it? Could be one of their friends. Could be a great hoax.
Yeah, and that's the problem when you just have audio.
Yeah, forever. Yeah. I mean, so I'm gonna delve a little further out to tell you about something else that's like totally wild but sort of connected to Bigfoot.
Please, you have my full attention.
Let's go, everybody. So, one of the other things that is like really popular right now. I use the term popular because like I see it more and more. Is something called a dog man. Now,
I've heard of the dog man.
Dog man is like looks like Bigfoot but has like a dog head. It seems to interact in a very similar way, very aggressive, etc., but scares the living shit out of people who think they've seen it.
So it's an animal that's walking upright like a person.
Yeah,
like
it looks
Sasquatch,
like
but with a dog head.
It looks like who's the Egyptian god? Is it
Horus?
Is it Horus? Horus? Yeah. A lot of people claim it looks like Horus, like human-like body, like a werewolf.
Look out, doggy!
Yeah, and there's like a whole podcast just dedicated to people talking about their dog man encounters.
I'm pretty sure I dated a dog lady in college. That's just me, though.
Yeah.
So that's a different category than Bigfoot. Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah, but it is, but like it gets talked about like on like all the Bigfoot shows. It's just become this thing that's just like generally accepted.
All right, so I had to go through some pretty sketchy clickbait to find this. So hopefully this is the right one.
I'm pretty sure that's my mother-in-law.
Vinny!
Oh, actually, Cardiff, I can tell you exactly. If you search Ohio Howl 1994, you'll put it right up. That's what it is.
Oh, that's a different one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ohio Howl 1994.
Yeah.
Interesting.
1994.
So a lot of howling. Is that even really a noise that like primates make? Is howling? I guess it is.
Yeah.
There's howler monkeys and
yeah, sure. It is like vocalizations. I guess among bigger apes, gorillas, they make some sort of sounds, but I don't know.
The Ohio Howl.
Sounds similar to the other one.
Sounds like an alarm, like a
Yeah, sounds
siren.
like
Purge.
some
Ah,
some people who have claimed to have sightings have said that that's what it sounded like to them, but that it reverberated so loud it would like shake their guts.
I still say this is the greatest discovery we've made tonight, Vinny.
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
Hey,
Yeah.
worth going to a convention for.
Nah, I don't believe that's accurate.
I
Now,
don't
it
know.
does. Agreed with Fearless 31 here. This is what I was looking for. It sounds like a tornado siren. It really does.
Yeah.
Obnoxious John, how dare you? Says it's the police chasing Chad.
Oh.
How dare you, Obnoxious John? Okay. This is interesting to me. We have distinct noises, kind of similar, kind of different. Are
Yeah.
we saying that Bigfoot
Recorded
has
15
accents?
years apart too.
Has like regional accents? Is that
Sure. I think the consensus among like the Bigfoot community is that there are different types. Like, the skunk ape in Florida is its own type, and your Pacific Northwest, like Bigfoot, is like burlier and bigger. And then, there's some across like, the Appalachians, and there's ones in Ohio and Texas, and although they are all look basically the same, they're all different, and they have different temperaments. I don't know, but yeah, I think that's the general consensus among the community.
Oh, he is a Sasquatch. Maybe we should have him on.
Yeah, let's fix that. They have different types like Pokemon. They do have different types.
Yeah,
Everybody knows there's like the Yeti, which is like the abominable snowman, and then
sure.
there's like the old American Sasquatch.
Yeah, yeah. There's also God, I forgot to mention one thing. I have to get into this. This is one of the other like really outlandish views of the Bigfoot community. Some of them think that they're biblical. That like they are Nephilim, which are like the like offspring of fallen angels.
Yeah, they're when the fallen angels came to Earth, they mated with women, and
Yes.
supposedly they created the giants that they talk about, like
Yes.
David and Goliath and all that stuff.
Right. So there are lots of like
I've heard that story.
Hardcore Christians in the Bigfoot community who are like, these are evil and they are demonic and they're definitely Nephilim.
Yeah, tune into our atheism episode. You'll hear a lot of Vinny's backstory. But any stories like this from other parts of the world? I mean, this is
oh yeah.
all I ever hear is in the States.
They're in I think in China they're called the Yeren. In Australia they're called Yowies. There are
in Australia they're called what?
Yowies.
That is the most Australian name for anything I've ever heard. Oh yeah, it's just that. It's just the Yowies.
Yes,
some Yowies on the bobby.
What was the in Indonesia? There's supposedly like a little tiny one called an orang pendek. That's only like 3 feet tall, but it looks like a tiny little Bigfoot.
It's 3 feet tall.
Yeah, 3 feet tall, and
like a pygmy Bigfoot.
Yeah, but it gets more convoluted because in Indonesia there was a what is it, Homo floresiensis, that was a like actual small human. They call
that's just my cousin Steve in Tampa. Come on,
it was like a small human that they discovered like a jawbone of. Like that's what people would call a relic hominid. Like it was a hominid that existed among humans long ago, but somehow has somehow made it all the way through. Like that's where you get into the cryptid area, where some people are like, "Oh, these are just like have somehow just made it undetected. There's like a small population or something like that.
And that's the thing that, like, I brought up the Loch Ness Monster earlier, that the reason why the Loch Ness Monster never worked for me is because we're talking a prehistoric animal that somehow has survived without any other prehistoric mammals there to mate with,
Yeah.
millions of stuff like that. And none of it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and the biggest Loch Ness Monster photo ever was a hoax.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, it's something. But I've done my deep dive into that as well.
I want to get back to one of the things that we were discussing earlier. We talked about the two different people that are on the Reddit Bigfoot page. There's the flesh and blood people, and then there's the what did you call the woo?
The woo, yeah.
Let's talk about the woo, baby.
Oh yeah,
woo!
Let's do it.
Where's my Ric Flair drop?
Woo!
No, I got one. Hold on. I'd be crazy if I didn't have one. Woo! There it is.
Mine was better.
Let's talk about the
no.
the woo. Okay.
There he is.
Let's find out, where does this time traveling stuff come from?
I should say that there aren't too many like time travelers. I say that jokingly because like talking about multidimensional stuff kind of that goes hand in hand. But I think I think I've seen some old interviews as far back as the 70s where there were people who there'd never been any remains found because I don't think it exists. But
hey Roger, can I ask you a question before you finish your thought right there about the remains thing? I've heard before that they don't find bears that die from natural causes. Is that true?
Sure, yeah. So I should say that yes. Once again, I'm not like an outdoorsman, but the idea is like if you're in deep forest and something dies, the forest basically reclaims everything, bone and all, within like weeks. However, I think people have still found bear skulls, etc. out. It's rare, but it happens.
Right.
So is it possible that if there is Bigfoot, they would all suddenly be, and then there are people within Bigfoot where they're like, they have to bury their dead. We've never found anything. They have to bury their dead.
Or again, they're just in such remote areas that the chance of stumbling upon one of them within those, few weeks that.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and the thing is, the forest, the forest will fuck you up. World's worst artist is correct. It's the natural decomposition added to like at a super high rate because there's so much like fungi and stuff like that out there in the woods that it does compost a lot quicker.
Sure.
Mixed with scavengers and animals and stuff.
Yeah.
Vinny, I thought you said you didn't go in the woods, Vinny.
I've read books.
Oh no, who's that fun guy you were referring to?
You know what? I'm just gonna do this real quick. You're in timeout. Okay, go ahead, Roger.
Show.
Just kidding.
My show.
Just kidding.
So I think. So what I was saying was, even back in the 70s, there were people who thought like they were like interdimensional. That they basically slip in and out, and that sometimes like that's like why you see them sometimes, and sometimes they're hidden in plain sight, etc. Like that's like
what does that mean? Hidden in plain sight.
So that like that they can cloak. That like you've seen Predator before, like yes. So that's the type of thing, and there are people once again. This is which is wilder that there are people who claim that they've seen like blurry weirdness that looked like someone was cloaking in a tree or whatever. Like it once again it goes really deep, and people are like 100% like this is what I saw.
Hey, Vinny, I think you might accidentally stop recording.
Why do you think that?
It's because it's not recording anymore in StreamYard.
Oh. It says it's still recording.
Oh, it doesn't look like it is on my end.
Well, it's going out live right now. So.
Well, it's live. It doesn't matter. I don't know if you use those. Anyway, sorry.
I have plenty of space on this thing. I got the premium version, so it should still be recording, but we'll find out later.
Yes.
Yeah. So, interdimensional weirdness. I don't know, but there's a lot of it. Yeah, the mind speak, the infrasound. I'm trying to think. One of the things we haven't talked about is a lot of them think that they make like little structures in the woods, like with logs, and that they kind of look like teepees, but once again, could just be people out there hoaxing.
Sure.
But like, yeah, there's a lot of, if you look up like tree structures or whatever, there's there's a lot of that out there.
Get out of here.
Sorry, Roger. I just like when people mention me.
I'm going to throw them out again. Now, hold on a second. What I want to know is this whole idea of an interdimensional Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Are you people? That's such a mind-boggling, dumb thing to me. That somehow Bigfoot, who is a hairy animal, no clothes, no look of science about him, a primitive as looking creature as can be, somehow can just create interdimensional wormholes.
Sure, yeah, that's what they say. And it doesn't
even have an Apple Watch.
Yeah, it doesn't help that there are also a couple of reports from the mid-70s in Pennsylvania where people saw UFOs, claimed to have seen UFOs and Bigfoot together. Like in the mid-70s in Pennsylvania, Chestnut Ridge.
Okay, yeah. I've heard about this. There's been clusters, like they call it, there's a bunch of clusters where people would see real high, as you said earlier, high strangeness.
Yeah,
where it was lots of different types of paranormal activity all in the same area around the same time.
Yeah,
Can we just chalk that up to a bunch of crazy people that were trying to one-up each other?
I think so.
So I think one of the most interesting things about that era is that there is like one gentleman who's basically documented it all. I'm trying to remember, his first name is Stan Gordon. That's what his name is. And he was just like a UFO researcher, and he was researching this incident in Pennsylvania at one point. And he claims that after this UFO incident, he started to get like people calling him about Bigfoot sightings. And he was just like, he was like, I just can't deny that there were also Bigfoot sightings, but I'm a UFO researcher.
Interesting. So I'm going to bring in a friend of ours who's just joined the stream. Here's a sighting.
Oh no! Before you bring our friend in,
Roger,
you said you were a Bigfoot denier, a skeptic, more of a skeptic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a skeptic.
Okay, well, get ready for that to end, because you, my friend, are about to meet.
We're gonna meet him.
You are about to meet Bigfoot himself from the hills of Texas.
Welcome to the stream, Lorenzo Arreola, everybody. Hey, Lorenzo.
Hello, everyone.
Hey,
you want to hear my Bigfoot impression?
No.
Yeah.
That's my Bigfoot impression.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Here's mine. He seems like a nice guy.
Did anyone bring
myself in timeout now?
Did anyone bring up Harry and the Hendersons?
Yes.
Why isn't anyone? Did you?
Yes, we did.
It's such a great movie.
So, thank you for joining us, Lorenzo.
Thank you for having me, Cardiff Electric.
Roger.
And
would you like to watch some of the sightings we pulled off the Reddit?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we have a whole lot of videos that we pulled tonight.
Oh man, yeah.
Lorenzo,
let's talk about them.
We're going to watch some of these videos of Bigfoot, and we're going to give our impressions of what we think. Is there anything legit here, or are these kind of silly? Let's find out.
I'm gonna spoil it.
Good.
They're kind of silly.
Thank you. So this is a Bigfoot sighting in Ontario, Canada. Screen recorded videos. It was on Facebook. So somebody posted this to Facebook, and somebody got a screen grab of this.
In Canada, worthless.
Yeah. Agreed.
Damn metric cameras.
Jesus.
We got a drone footage here? What is this?
We have seen a lot of photos and videos of Bigfoot in the area. Here is one of the latest Bigfoot sightings captured by some boaters. I'll play it through, and then I'll zoom in on the subject, and then play it again at full speed, and then slow it down so that we can get a better look at the Sasquatch-like subject on video.
Sasquatch?
What is he, Italian?
Here's the boaters are going closer to land to get a better look at what they just
I've seen this one.
When I replay this again, I want you to notice the camouflage color of the Bigfoot, the grass and the foliage on the ground, it's nearly the same color. Here's the original again. I'm going to play it forward and backwards for you, and then I'm going to zoom in on it.
Okay,
I see
it
something
there.
moving on
Yeah,
the
I see
ridge.
something there. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Can you full screen that, Cardiff?
Yeah, let me see.
Thanks.
Here's the
Oh, yeah.
normal.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah, I see a little bit of
Forward and
something
backward.
there, right there.
Want to zoom too much.
Yeah.
Didn't want it to get too pixelated.
Freak out, freak out. It looks like it might be a Sasquatch.
Yeah.
I was ready to tell Lorenzo to shut up. I thought that was him. I was watching the video. Yeah, that is something.
I don't know. That looks like it's
Same
CGI to
color as
me.
the undergrowth. If it laid down, you probably would not be able to see it unless you knew it was there. Just amazing camouflage, great color for the environment. I'm going to play the normal clip again, and then the zoomed and the slowed again so that you guys can check out the subject. I'm not saying it's Bigfoot. It just looks like
They all
Bigfoot.
say that.
I think it walks really fluidly. If someone set this up, it looks like they would have practiced because the fluidity that it moved.
Okay, I would agree. That does look like it's moving pretty fluid. I also agree with you. They always say, "I'm not saying it's Bigfoot." I think
Yeah,
they're
I'm
afraid.
not. Yeah.
Are they afraid that it's like some lady on vacation and she's going to sue him for calling her a Sasquatch?
I think it gives them plausible deniability to be like, well, I didn't say it was Bigfoot. I'm just saying
Just
it's a
saying,
big,
look,
big
walks
hairy
like one.
ape walking around.
So, what do you think of that one, Roger? What are your thoughts? Because that looks pretty good.
I mean, I guess I could be someone in a ghillie suit. I don't know, like that. You know,
Hell
we still
yeah.
don't get the quality that
Ghillie suits are fucking tight.
you know.
So, okay, what are people saying on that? Comments on that?
The boat is going pretty slow. For intelligent, elusive being who. So yeah, if they could hear the motorboat and choose to walk across an open space instead of melting in a tree. So yeah, I think it's kind of like they would have known. It would have known that a boat was coming and probably wouldn't have decided to just walk into a clearing at that point unless it was looking for something, right?
Yeah.
Unless it wanted you to see him. Right?
Yeah, unless it was set up. So
Or it's a dumb animal that's just walking around.
And what are the thoughts about the abominable snowman? Is he just the North Pole Sasquatch?
Yeah.
That's Yeti, right?
Yeah. It's just in Tibet.
The Yeti.
Oh my God, he's got Hogan. He's got Hogan.
No, he's cool. The
Yeah,
white
people
one's
comparing it to the original video, the 90 degree.
They
the 90 degree
they
stepping
compare
forward.
they compare everything to the
original
Patterson-Gimlin. Yeah.
So that old one shows tits? I didn't even know that. I would watch it more if it did.
It sure does.
Now you know.
Jesus.
So here's a picture. I guess somebody captured in Georgia woods. This one looks a lot more hunched over.
That looks like nothing to me.
I can't masturbate to that.
I mean, this is what like 80% of like Bigfoot stuff looks like. Grainy, awful. You know, it goes back to the Mitch Hedberg joke where it's like, oh, maybe Bigfoot's just blurry.
Yeah. Just a blurry ape.
Man,
yeah, that's nothing. That's just the way there's nothing there. That's
there's something there. There's something there, but yeah, whether it's there are legs, there's a giant torso, but yeah, it looks more like a werewolf.
Tune
in next week.
Look out, doggy.
That's pretty interesting about the Bigfoot community too, and maybe not surprising to a lot of people. And maybe it has a lot to do with the amount of rural, but there is a pretty deep right-wing following of Bigfoot.
Why do you think that is? Just because like the majority of, well, not the majority, but a large majority of the people that live out in the sticks tend to be Republican conservative? and it just is.
Correlation, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Bigfoot did not vote for Joe Biden. That's why.
Bigfoot is
Yeah.
proud to be an American.
I mean, yeah. There's a.
Cause
Wow.
he's got big feet. All right, keep it going. What else we got? Let's watch this video, Cardiff.
So this is just one that someone's posted about a tree that is pinned behind another. So this tree was twisted in such a way, and it's in a known Sasquatch area.
Yeah, this is one of those sort of like structures or tree bends, and yeah.
That's what you're talking about? That's what the structures are?
This is not, the structures usually look more teepee than this. There's usually like 4 or 5, but they're usually, yeah, they have this like, they're like laid, or they're like, it looks like they've been carried there.
It's
Yeah.
strange, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, it's
I
like,
don't think Sasquatch would do that.
it's like rock stacking. It could be anything.
Yeah. Interesting. Because like when I first see that, I think a tree fell over, was unhealthy, was diseased, fell over, landed on that other tree, and just the limbs were, it just wasn't that strong of a structure anymore and bent because that's the way
Sure.
it landed. I mean,
Yeah.
why? I'm such a fucking skeptic about everything, Cardiff.
I mean, I went into
That's
like
fine.
this like deep Bigfoot hole, like hoping that I would like see something where I'd be like, wow, that is amazing. But the opposite happened. I just saw like a lot of nothing.
Detroit, Chris, Carl, Croge, they beg me to sing in the Isotopes. I keep telling them no.
Oh.
I refuse.
Okay, let me bring this one back up. So we've got this video here. Oop. Oh, someone made a music. Fuck you. You're not getting on my show with your stupid music video.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Skunk ape footage. All right, I want to see skunk ape footage. That's the Florida Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Why this is just spinning though?
Did we lose Lorenzo?
I wouldn't say we lose. Oh wait, no, that doesn't work.
Okay. Bye, Lorenzo. Thanks for coming on. Funky Eskimo on Twitter, Instagram, Patreon.
I'm glad he broke my internet before he left. But hold on,
That
there
was
was-
sweet of him.
So here's a Mogollon monster is a cryptid ape native to Mogollon Rim in Arizona. Something you've ever heard of, Roger?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's like, I mean, there are very few states that don't have some sort of Bigfoot sighting. I should say that there is an organization that compiles all the sightings, so you can like see them. And
What's the name of the
Yeah.
organization?
the BFRO, the Bigfoot Resource Organization, the BFRO, yeah. Also, as you can imagine, also like very polarizing within the Bigfoot community.
So it's
You know,
like
I find that
MUFON
anytime.
the MUFON
Yeah.
of Bigfoot. Yeah, okay.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
I find that a lot of people, the second they try to get anything organized, make enemies.
Yes. I mean, so that, but I should say that people still like use it as reference material all the time. They're like, well, you can see the incident on the BFRO site and read all about it.
So here's a video of one of those structures.
Yeah. See, so that's your general gist.
What do they believe the point of this is?
That's debated too. Some people think it's like boundaries, like they're like doing that. Some people think that they're like they're just like, it's like art, like they're just creating it to create it. But a lot of people think it's like map signals. It's like, oh, this is where X is, or this is where X starts.
That does look a little too good to be just naturally made.
To just have fallen that way?
Yeah. It looks too structured, so to speak.
There's someone with a footprint.
Yeah, lots of footprints.
Okay, this one's kind of interesting. I mean, look at how wide it is compared to how long it is. can see it's also very deep.
Where are the other footprints?
That's the thing that drives me crazy. Show me the
Okay.
trail, dude.
So here, let's bring it full
This
scale.
dude's walking.
The woo people think it's because there you go. It's you only get a couple of footprints because it's like shifting in and out of dimensions.
Okay,
So it just lands there for a second.
very deep.
Yeah.
That's cheap. That's cheap. And by the way, I just looked this up. I live in Rochester, New York, and there have been 2 sightings in Rochester, New York of Bigfoots. One was October 1997. It was a Class A sighting, and the
I
other
think
one is
eating a garbage plate. Isn't that
that was what he was doing.
Yeah.
And then June 2004, 3 men had a late night encounter with a bipedal figure. Could have been anybody
Could have
on the
been
west
Grandpa.
side of this town.
Get me one of those Bigfoot suits. I will walk through downtown Rochester.
Yeah.
And I'll let you get the footage.
Oh, there he is. Caught him.
Got him.
We
Just
knew it was
helping
Santa
out.
Claus all along.
Just helping out.
Now, let's talk about an interesting thing I saw when I was looking through this Reddit. A lot of stuff for sale. People are selling a lot of things.
I mean, you know, there's a lot of money to be made with shit that has Bigfoot on it. Like,
Is there though?
I mean, I'll tell you enough that people can get pretty big booths at convention and just sell the shit out of it, and online, and like I should say I was in the Pacific Northwest somewhat recently, and like you're driving around small towns. There's always like a Bigfoot gift shop, like just like sprinkled about.
So Bigfoot towns, it'll be like Area 51. They have the gift shops and every course. Okay.
Yeah, you'll see like a carved big wooden Bigfoot outside. Inside you can get like T-shirts and bottle openers and
So Bigfoot
whatever.
tourism could be a driver for people to keep pushing this Bigfoot thing. Okay.
Well, wasn't that the case with tell me if I'm wrong, RP, the Boggy Creek monster? Wasn't that whole thing about tourism?
So two things happened. One, there was if I remember the story correctly, the family claims they saw it. It was like a incident within a family where there's like it's like a siege film. Bigfoot's trying to get inside, and then they made the movie. And
it's Straw Dogs.
Yeah, and once the movie is made,
what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us. This is Sean.
That little town just gets inundated with people trying to find it. So, yeah, I mean,
all those people showed up.
It's in their best interest to keep that going.
And that was the thing. Like some guy in that town was like, "We gotta get some merch made.
I gotta do something. Gotta make some keychains."
Pretty much. And I mean, the movie got filmed there.
Yeah.
Because of the tourism boom that happened, and it got people's attention.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I should say the Bigfoot community as a whole has it's gotten some cash out of me. And once again, I'm not even a believer, but here I am.
What's
on Prime to watch the worst documentaries possible?
What do you own any Bigfoot paraphernalia?
Sometimes friends will buy it for me. Although I think I bought something at the first convention that I went to, but I can't remember what it was.
You know what I would buy if I had the opportunity to? It depends on how much it costs, but I would be down to buy one of those footprints, like a plaster footprint.
Oh yeah,
I'd put that in my house. That'd be cool as hell.
There are a couple of cryptozoology museums around the U.S. where they have those for sale. They get the casts, and of course the aforementioned Dr. Jeff Meldrum, he has the biggest cast collection in the world or whatever.
What is a Bigfoot cast go for? $40-$50?
No,
yeah,
but no, hold on. I want a real one.
Oh, you want one cast?
I want a real one.
All right, that's gonna cost you an extra $100.
Does anyone ever want Bigfoot's? Does anyone ever want Bigfoot's handprint?
Sure, yeah.
Is there a market for that?
There's some people have claimed that too. There's a whole body print that the BFRO is we got this. Bring out the plaster Paris. We got a butt print.
Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it has. Of course, like all Bigfoot stuff has like a name, but like there is one where they claim in the mud you could see like a body print as if the
It's a
Bigfoot.
big hairy ass in the mud.
Yeah, take a look. Yeah, yeah.
Bigfoot's taint. Like
So-
those chocolates they make whenever they make chocolates out of your partner's.
Yeah, add
taint-
another
taint.
extra $100.
Wait, what?
What?
Oh, Lorenzo. Oh, Lorenzo. So $150 for a plaster cast.
Sure, why not?
Is that what they go for, you think?
Yeah, I've seen them go from like $40 to like $150 if it like comes from like
Canada.
Canada.
Would you turn off your goddamn YouTube, Cardiff?
Oh, is that coming through?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking for.
And then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer.
I was watching
Man,
another show.
I'm trying to think if there's any like weird like Bigfoot culture stuff I haven't hit yet. I think
Don't be surprised though if like next week you guys tune in and I have one of those like right here. I think I'm gonna end up trying to buy one. I want one now.
I know what to get Vinny for his birthday.
I want that Bigfoot ass cast.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make one for you.
So Roger Patterson, you've been incredibly generous with your time tonight.
Hey.
And I still have like a million questions for you if you want to stick around for a bit.
Sure, yeah, let's do it.
Cool. So we've never really gotten to the bottom of this theory about this interdimensional Bigfoot. And what we brought it up a couple of times. And the last time we brought it up, you had said that people use that as an excuse as to why there aren't like a long trail of tracks that they could follow deep into the woods.
Yeah, that's correct.
Interesting.
So yeah, and I've like heard a couple of accounts where the people claim that they see it like shifting in and out of view. Like they'd watch it walking and it would look like you're tuning your television, they would like see it disappear and reappear as it was walking. Yeah. So like once again, it's a lot. It's a lot
Is it like some Skinwalker Ranch shit?
Sure. There was one of like the unsubstantiated like Skinwalker Ranch lore is that when they had like some of those quote unquote scientists there that they saw like a portal open and they saw some giant humanoid thing crawl out. That's like one of like the famous Skinwalker Ranch things that they claim they saw.
That could have been like a Bigfoot without hair, like
Sure,
a big man.
Yeah. Also this Unsolved Mysteries. They had like a Bigfoot, like the new Unsolved Mysteries that's on Netflix.
That one's stupid.
Yeah, but they did have a Bigfoot episode on there that was very interesting.
Now, when it comes down to it, the types of evidence that are out there, you would think that these people who find tracks, they have audio recordings, and then they also at times say that they find hair.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that, Roger? Do they really find Bigfoot hair? Has anybody? Do they analyze this? What do they
find? They find hair, but
okay,
like, a lot of time it ends up being like deer hair or what have you, and occasionally they'll come up with something that they're like, it's like part human, but it's just probably been contaminated by the person picking it up with their grubby paws. Like there has been this post that we're looking at was like really big the other day, and someone was like, look, it has roots on it, it's clearly Bigfoot hair, and it's just like
they say Bigfoot smells pretty bad too, right?
Yes,
it's got roots on it. It's got Bigfoot's hair, damn it.
They're like, send it into National Geographic. Oh, there is also something else we have not covered, the conspiratorial side of it.
Oh, please.
The government 100% knows. 100% knows, according to some people.
Obviously.
Covering it up, much like UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
Because
what would the
panic? It would cause panic.
No, it wouldn't.
Suddenly, and that people would go running into the woods to try to kill it, or it would ruin the logging industry, or like whatever. There's like so many reasons why they think the government.
No.
It's like
Let me tell you something. You capture one, you get good footage of it or whatever. Everybody will be placated. People will still try to go out there and see it the same way they do now, but I don't think it would cause that much of an influx of people, especially if it lives way out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
I think it
Yeah,
would cause
sure.
a panic. I think because people would start thinking, well, what else are they lying to us about? What else is real? And start, opening their third eye.
You
or
think it's a
whatever.
snowball effect? Like, if they admit to Bigfoot, they have to be like, well, there's
Now,
10,000 other things. Dogman.
Mikey Shitted just summed up my feelings on this 100%. Trust me, the government is not organized.
Yes, that is 100% true. There's no way that they'd be able to keep this under wraps.
Of course,
No way.
they're women in the government. What good are they? I tell you.
Guys,
Lorenzo.
I think I've found probably the clearest picture of Bigfoot ever. Tell me if you've seen this one before, Roger.
Oh yeah, crystal clear,
Majestic, even.
beautiful.
I'll fucking salute
Beautiful.
to that.
Look at those tracks.
Look at those tracks.
Sorry,
God bless America.
I mean,
So once again, I know
what
a
could
lot.
prove
for
it
being
to
a
you
skeptic.
without a body, Roger? What could
Nothing.
prove it to you without a body?
Nothing.
There's no footage. There's nothing.
No, no, because imagine there's people dying to like and there are some really talented people out there when it comes to CGI. That's the truth, especially now.
Yeah.
Like in the 80s, 90s, maybe not, but now, yeah, come on. With even stuff like deep fakes, etc. There's just at this point there would need to be a body. There needs to be a body.
We're definitely at the point where video doesn't prove shit anymore. Like
video, audio, photos,
it means
nothing. Yeah. And even like quote unquote DNA footage, like if they get a hair and something comes up, that doesn't prove that it's Bigfoot. That just proves that maybe they don't have like what it is in their DNA database. It could just be something else. Who knows?
Yeah.
I would want teeth. I would want some Bigfoot teeth.
Sure.
I'd make a necklace.
I feel like teeth should be a currency.
Bigfoot teeth?
No, just teeth in general.
They have what was it? Gigantopithecus, which was a like a primate. I don't remember. I think 300,000 years ago. Like that was like 10 feet tall. Was bipedal, like kind of walked, and a lot of the flesh and blood people are like, well, because that's been proven. They found jaw bones and teeth in China. That's where it was. But some people are like, well, there you go. They think that's the smoking gun. They're like, we had a 10-foot half walking primate. Couldn't it have just evolved, etc.? That's another common. That's
either evolved or not evolved.
Yeah.
Depending on location. I mean, if we're talking about these creatures were out there forever and have been distant from society, why would they evolve?
I mean, one of the big arguments is like, well, they've evolved to avoid us. Clearly, like that has to be their MO. Like if your entire brain power is dedicated to trying to hide from humans, then that's what's going to happen.
Well, how do you know that's what it's doing?
They don't.
Exactly.
No one knows. Yeah, but that's what they claim. That's what they all claim.
I mean, let's be real. We did say that there's sightings all over the country in just about every state, but how often are people actually in the vicinity of where one of these would be?
Who knows? Who knows?
Is there just one? Is there just one, or is there reported? Is there a certain amount that's reported?
No, there's like I think the general idea is that Sasquatch is like a species. It's not just one.
But how many is their population? Is there a reported number of them?
So I should say that I went to go see Jeff Meldrum speak, and that was the exact topic that he was speaking at. But I got so bored that I straight up left.
I was like, bring on Sasquatch.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go get a hot dog. And like, and not that he's not like, but like also he's like He's like a
Or-
lecturer. Yeah, and that just wasn't very interesting to me. Yeah, I had enough.
What'd you have on your hot dog?
Mustard only.
Oh, fucking disgusting.
Yeah, just
So
mustard.
That's the only thing that belongs on a hot dog, Lorenzo.
Yeah.
Oh, ketchup.
Oh
Ketchup.
no.
Cardiff, do you have any more videos you want to show us?
I do.
Okay.
I'm just trying to.
God,
Here's a
must-
skunk ape one. So
Yeah, I want to talk about the skunk ape. This is a fun one. This is the Florida version of Sasquatch.
Yeah.
And I mean, why couldn't they just call it a Sasquatch? Why did they decide to call them skunk apes? It's such a Florida sounding name. Just like Florida, the tourism department was not thinking this through.
I mean, just looks like a big bear or gorilla. I don't know what's happening
Oh.
with the camera here.
Oh, I think this is stabilized. I think that's what.
Oh,
Okay,
So-
yeah, that makes sense. So that thing's just tramping around.
I mean, like, yeah, but once again, how typical is that? It's like a blob on a screen. You can kind of see it walking behind
slashing around in the
trees.
water.
Yeah, you don't really see anything. But like some people, like that's it. They're like real.
so
Saw it
here's
with my
one.
eyes.
Here's one from Sundance, Utah. Bigfoot,
Okay.
very dark. Though.
Just like a dash cam. Okay, I see nothing.
Oh, it's that little bit, huh? Right
It
before.
better
it
not
turned.
better not scare me. This better not be some scary shit.
I'm not Rick
Oh.
rolling you, I promise.
Okay.
Never gonna give you up.
You
Never
son
gonna
of a-
let you. That would be the greatest if that like they catch a Bigfoot and then it just starts singing that song.
Never gonna give, never gonna give.
And by the way, I don't know who sang that song, but that guy was a real fucking pussy.
Rick Astley.
Rick Astley. What a fucking loser. Okay. So
Alright.
That was
I-
video of them talking about getting a video. Hey, look, subreddit surfing is live right now.
hey, people should watch that.
Hey, look at this.
This is
Oh,
crazy.
Jesus.
Now, let's talk about something real quick.
It's scaring me.
The popularity of dash cams. You would think we'd be catching video every now and again, right? Like these truckers have them all the
Sure.
time, and
Yeah.
people say they see these fucking things running through the roads.
Yeah. You want to know what they say about the dash cams?
What do they say?
It's-
They
it's
don't pick
rigged.
up interdimensional beings.
No, that the Sasquatch can see the infrared from the dash cams and that they actively avoid them.
Well, no, wouldn't they actively be avoiding bright lights and vehicles?
Sure, yeah, that
I
too.
think that would be more of an
Although
enough-
I should say that podcast Sasquatch Chronicles, the host when he talks about like the car thing, when like why like you see them by roadsides or why you watch them walk in front like clearly to be seen, and he's like his whole idea is like, oh yeah, they're doing that on purpose. Like he thinks like it's a thing that they do on purpose to be
Like
seen.
there's a lot of this us versus them mentality. Like they know what we're doing, so they do this.
Yes.
How I don't
How?
understand that
They don't.
concept.
Yeah, they don't know, but you know.
Yeah,
I
I think
think-
that's the you know, as man, we think that again the world revolves around us. So yeah, obviously whatever Bigfoot's doing, it has something to do with their response to us. Not that
Yeah.
we're so insignificant to them or they don't give a shit about us. But here,
And
so this
getting-
one is
and
this
getting
one's called
our
the brown
attention.
footage. Yeah, so this is the brown footage. So this was taken with a FLIR camera.
This doesn't sound good. It sounds dirty. The brown
Well,
footage.
Buckle up, Lorenzo.
Did
All
you
right.
say this came from a flare camera?
Yes.
Oh,
Nice.
this one's also pretty popular.
Okay.
So I think a FLIR camera is like a night kind of hunter's camera or something.
Yeah.
Like it's yeah.
Yeah, it basically kind of almost creates like the negative.
So let's see.
Okay.
It like peeks out or walks out here in a second.
Okay.
Oh,
There you go.
that was something else.
Yeah, there was something there.
It's fluid, all right.
It looked like
Something
a
is
video game
walking.
graphic.
Yeah, something is walking. If you can, you should find the Freeman footage, Cardiff. I think that is also like next to the Patterson-Gimlin one is like probably the most popular amongst Bigfoot people.
Freeman footage.
I want to see
Freeman
this
footage.
again.
It's not slowed down and zoomed in.
And then you don't really see anything else. 8 foot 5 inches tall. Okay, Cliff Brackman. Find this Freeman footage, Cardiff. Get on it.
Yes, sir.
Snap.
Yes,
Snap,
sir.
snap.
The Freeman footage was filmed in the '90s by someone who was like a Parks and Service worker who like got really into Bigfoot and then caught what he thinks is a couple of Bigfoot. It's actually really long footage. Like he's released the whole like tape before. But yeah, it's from the '90s. I also think this gentleman has also passed away at this point too. I could be wrong,
Rest in peace.
but it's
I'm interested to see this now.
And I think if you were to ask the Bigfoot subreddit about this, they would. Some people would be like, "Oh, this is better than the Patterson-Gimlin film."
Interesting. All right.
Okay, well, this is a very well produced video from Animal Planet. So let's see. Oops.
That's the file.
It's in a folder. It's got to be real,
Yeah.
right?
They don't just give those manila envelopes out. Okay. Why don't you just scrub through this here, buddy?
What?
That looks like
That's
a
like-
small man,
That's a chimpanzee.
a regular sized man.
Was that the Freeman footage? That shot?
No.
Okay. Hold on, let me post that. You guys talk. I'll find it.
All right. So
What haven't we
let's talk
covered?
about this real quick. The Freeman footage is what you're saying. A lot of people think is the best footage, followed by the Gimlin Patterson. And then what?
I would say there's something called I think it's called the Memorial Day footage. That's also like a thing, but I would say 90% of like that community thinks the Patterson-Gimlin is like their smoking gun. It's their Zapruder film.
And what does Bigfoot feed on? Have you talked about that? Like in the
No, yeah.
forest?
What does Bigfoot eat?
Does he leave any carcasses behind or?
Sure, yeah. Some like I guess that's why a lot of hunters claim to have like run into them because they're both hunting deer, big game, etc. And I think the idea is that anywhere that like deer can like survive and live, a Bigfoot can as well.
So they think that they eat game like deer and things like that.
Yes, yeah, large
Okay.
large game, yeah.
Raw.
Sure, yeah. I've never heard of a Bigfoot being seen with like having started a fire or anything.
Right. Okay. What about tools? Has anybody ever said they've seen a Bigfoot
Not-
using any
not-
type of a tool?
No, not. But there are there's one of the ways
closest-
that
Oh, sorry.
they do tree knocks, like supposedly where they like bang like branches together, or rock clacking where they bang rocks together. But that is as close to tool using I think that people have ever claimed.
Interesting. Colin Carnes makes a wonderful point. We're watching two bearded men and a talking potato in high resolution video with high quality sound. 100 years ago, a Sasquatch would have been more feasible than our reality now. It's all relative. It's a point.
Oh yeah, this is here's the Freeman footage.
All right.
Okay. Again, I couldn't find it on YouTube anywhere. I found some shorts of it, but this is from an interview with Paul Freeman's son that somebody did and put this video up
All
as
right.
part of the interview. So there's a bit of narration from the person doing the interview and then the Paul Freeman narration. So there's a couple layers here.
Could you enlarge that, Cardiff? Full screen it? Thanks.
Let me go back. Well, that was something.
That was the footage, huh, Roger?
I believe you actually see 2 in it. If I'm correct. There's
one of them played by
creatures.
Pedro Pascal.
One was actually Peter Mayhew.
Yeah.
So there it is.
I see one.
So there's one that comes across here, and then I think there's another one behind it. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Oh yeah, they cut it off. I think there's an extended version of that somewhere.
And so Michael Freeman's father went mad trying to prove this footage right and bankrupt, and
they lost the farm, Lorenzo.
Yeah,
they lost the farm.
Is that what the story?
I know. I think Paul Freeman just got old and died. I mean, some of these people, they didn't it doesn't seem like they profit too much off of it. Like, sure, Patterson-Gimlin, sure, everyone wants the rights to that shot, right? Like, everyone wants to use that. But most of these other guys, I mean, sure, there's some YouTube guys that have 100,000 subscribers, and they're going for every week is I'm out in the forest making sounds and yelling and screaming. Maybe we'll find him this week.
The show must go on.
Yeah.
As long as there's an audience of people who are interested,
sure.
They're going to keep pumping out garbage.
Yeah.
Do you think Bigfoot's on Grindr trying to pick up underage? No,
I saw that one. Actually, Bigfoot is in charge of predator poachers. He's actually going out and catching.
Yeah, I want to help. I want to help you guys.
Good for Bigfoot.
Get out of here. I want to help you guys.
I want to help you guys.
I want to help you guys.
Now that we've gone completely off the rails, Vinny.
Yep, I believe it.
Let's maybe give some shout outs to some of our super chats from the evening.
Yeah, let's read our super chats and let's go back and see what we got here.
So love you, Cardiff. I hate Mike Morse. Thank you, Blinky Jedi. Cardiff rules. Captain Kickass. Thank you.
Can't argue.
Leland Mandingo. I'll give you. Hold on.
Give him another one.
Oh wait, wrong guy.
Nice. Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
A wink and a smile from Cardiff, folks. Priceless.
That's the best $5 you ever spent, Leland Mandingo. Pork Boy 23, thank you. If they meet Bigfoot, I hope they teach him how to sit. What does that mean?
You got to teach like a dog. You got to train it how to sit.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, get beef jerky.
Gotcha.
Roll over.
Okay. We asked about this.
Yeah, we covered that. Yeah.
Travel. He has a friend who is convinced. Arcona, good egg. Rusty Christie. This one ties into SJ for sure.
Yeah, he is missing. There haven't been any sightings.
It also smells about the same, we believe. The apartment in Canoga Park might smell the same as Bigfoot. Yeah.
Okay.
Bigfoot is real. Roger isn't real. Roger, are you real? Captain Kickass.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. But
do you have any evidence?
That could be debated.
Real?
No, zero evidence, zero internet trail. Could be a ghost.
You could be AI. We don't even know.
I could be mind speaking right now.
That'd be cool.
Cardiff is a negative creep in a good way. Thank you, CMOS 4044. But Vinny, what do you think of Impractical Jokers on AEW? Brian Quinn is keeping kayfabe on Tell Him Steve Dave with ya boy Brian Johnson. What do you think of the injury that happened to Brian Quinn at AEW?
What happened to Brian Quinn? I don't even know, honestly.
He was attacked or something. Like he's really playing it up. He's Andy Kaufmaning it. He's living the gimmick out.
Let me tell you something. If AEW brought me in and they wanted anybody to do something to me, I would play it up for a month too, because that's pretty much what they make you do when you work for a wrestling company. I have not watched wrestling in about 2 months, folks. So I'm pretty behind. You got to forgive me. I'm getting ready to jump back in.
But yes, IJ was on the latest AEW pay-per-view, and Brian Quinn got a chair shot or something. He's talking about a lawsuit. It's
hysterical.
Thank you, Jules David. Leland Mandingo again. Why never any children Bigfoot recordings?
Yeah, who knows?
Yes. Well, there was that one video of a Bigfoot swinging in a tree. Lorenzo from Leland Mandingo.
Hey, everyone.
Also Lorenzo from CMOS 4044. Dylan from somewhere. I thought this episode was going to be about monster trucks. I brought you your Bigfoot. When are we going to talk about how Bigfoot paved the way for Monster Jam? Yes. I've never seen the original Bigfoot live. Actually, no, I did once.
I did too.
Yes, I did once. They brought out old Bigfoot for probably around the same time they had Truckosaurus Rex coming out and eating trucks.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. But that is for the super chats. Thank you very much, everybody, for the super chats.
What a wonderful group of listeners.
The biggest
And
dicks on the
viewers.
internet.
That's it.
From the president of YouTube himself.
All right. Well, Lorenzo, do you want to plug anything before we get out of here tonight?
Yeah, guys, check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Lorenzo Arreola. And check out my podcast, That's All Funny, where you'll just hear me talk about whatever I do talk about for 10 to 12 minutes.
I wish you had a Patreon. That would be cool.
And I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/Lorenzo Arreola. Thank you so much, Cardiff.
Hey,
You're great.
anytime, Lorenzo Arreola.
Hey, Lorenzo, thank you for my awesome t-shirt. I loved it.
No, thank you for wearing it, Vinny, and thank you for
got it, buddy.
supporting That's All Funny.
You got it, man. Thanks again. We'll see you soon. Hey, Roger, I know you went completely anonymous tonight. Is there anything you'd like to plug or anything you'd like to say? Any parting words for the audience tonight?
No, thanks for having me on. You know, I don't talk about this stuff almost ever, except for my my poor girlfriend who has to occasionally hear me be like, "Can I tell you this wild story this guy told?" So yeah, thanks for having me on. It was fun.
Listen, man, I'd love to have you back sometime.
anytime. Yeah, anytime you want to talk about high strangeness, I'll come and tell you all about it.
Sounds great.
Do either you or your girlfriend involve Bigfoot in your lovemaking?
No. I think that would be the final straw for her.
For her or for you?
For her.
That means he tried. Thank you, Roger. Hey, listen, I'm going to shoot you a message. We got to exchange emails and all that stuff, and we'll be in touch. All right, pal.
Thanks,
all right,
Roger.
thanks again. Cardiff, what a great job. I did booking guests tonight.
Yes, you did. None of mine showed up. None of mine showed
not
up.
Not a one.
I had 3 on the hook. Not one of them showed up.
But what a hell of an episode. We learned so much tonight.
He was a good guest. Well, we may have learned all bullshit, but it was a great guest.
Yeah, he could have been making all that up.
Who cares? It was fun.
It was a lot of fun. And I need to take a second and say thank you to everybody who subscribed to us on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. You mean the world to us. We're just thankful that any of you are checking out this little project that we're doing. So thank you for your support.
Yes. Can you put up where do you have the email?
I have that.
There it is. There's our email, everybody. subredditsurfing@gmail.com. We are looking at getting some help on the show, maybe some help with booking guests and picking some topics. So if you are interested in joining the subreddit surfing team,
I know that Kinky reached out. Kinky, reach out again. We're going to talk some more about this. We're going to definitely be needing some help going down the line because booking guests for this show has been quite the challenge.
Yes.
And we need some extra help.
Yes. And we don't get paid enough to do it. So we want somebody to do it for free for us.
We'll entertain you while you do it.
Yes.
All right. Well, Cardiff, how do we end this show? What do we say goodbye to everybody?
Surfs up.
Aloha.
Spam.